My name is Dr. Mrs. Sarah Jibril. I am from Kwara State. My home tribe or ethnicity is Nupe, and I am the Jakadia Nupe, that is Mother Royal or Mother Ambassador Royal for all the Nupes worldwide. I work with the Etsu Nupe, Brigadier General Dr. Yahaya Etsu Nupe. I come from a Christian home, and I believe in the values I was taught. And my primary school was in Patigi, my local government. My parents are Reverend and Mrs. Philip Ghana. My mother's name is Mrs. Hawau Esther Ghana, from the village called Tampafu, 5 kilometers from Patigi Township in Kwara State. I attended SIM Primary School, now Ekwa Primary School, and I attended Elizabeth Secondary School in Ilorin for 5 years. I enjoyed myself. I was fortunate to have very good principals and teachers. I suddenly realized I was talented in sports. So I participated as a sprinter while being a class prefect, and then later became the house prefect because of the activities I was engaged in. And suddenly I had the young ones becoming my friend. So happy that I was carrying them along to go and play, to practice sports, particularly the game called netball, which has been overtaken by basketball. But that was a very interesting game. I was very good at it, I think, to the point that my teacher wrote something that I was an exhibitist player. My parents didn't like it because they thought it was seen negatively. Why would I be playing to show off? That taught me a lesson that whatever I was going to do in life is to be modest and humble, no matter how good I am at it. I finished and I went to Dartford College of Education for my diploma in education. And that was where I learned, first of all, how to learn how to swim and to be able to win my first bronze medal before I would become a teacher in swimming, including other sports activities. I had to learn to swim and then swim Olympic length swimming pool 21 times non-stop. When I achieved that, I felt I was fulfilled that I was able to do that, to swim 21 times non-stop of the Olympic size pool. That helped me as I learned other skills in playing hockey, again netball and basketball, particularly teaching the physical things and applying the psychology that works in the human being, and also in the area of gymnastics. I graduated and came back to Nigeria, but before I came back during the holidays, since I had scholarship, I worked at the Nigerian embassy as a telephone operator. For a while, that linked me back home with our diplomats, and that was quite interesting. But one thing I always know that if you didn't know anything and you were new, you could have disappointments. So I decided I was going to work there one summer holiday. So I went to a new company, and by that time, as of before 70, but it was 1967 to 70, I was in Britain. So one of those summer holidays, going to a new company, they had started using a digital telephone or kit. And the woman taught me for about half an hour. So I thought I could make it. And indeed, I made some few mistakes, and she felt that I couldn't cope with the job. So after 1 hour of my employment, I was sacked. So, well, I felt I could learn, but she said, Sarah, this needs our continuity in our work. And if you learn the skill, you could always come back. So I left disappointed, but that was a lesson in my mind that I must have to get skills. I joined Ahmadu Bello University, and at the branch of the university, we had Advanced Teachers College of Education. It was strange that as a woman, as a young lady, unmarried, I was teaching sports and gymnastics. And I think one of the challenges I had was that one lecturer looked down on me, and that day was gymnastics. The class that was to teach, history class, they just came in with their chairs to fill the hall. But I was bold enough. I told the student, don't stop your activities. Continue as if nobody had entered. But when they realized I wasn't going to back out, shamefully, they carried their chairs and left. I didn't know. The principal of the college heard what was happening. I was expecting me to run crying to him. I didn't go to nobody. I just stood my ground, finished my class, and went on to do other theory classes. It was later on the principal was asking me what happened, and I said nothing happened. That I didn't say any reason why somebody was going to barge into my class, just simply because I was a young lady. Anyway, soon after that, I left the college and I got married to Colonel Jibril. Later on, became Brigadier General Jibril. We have 4 children, 3 boys and a girl.
She has mentored me since I was a child, and she has, from growing up, I grew up around a woman who was a go-getter, someone who never let anything stop her. So growing up around that, I don't see anything as a challenge. If there's a challenge, I'm more solution conscious, because that is who I've seen my mother to be, someone who is solution conscious, and then being able to provide solutions when there's a problem or where there's a need to be able to fit myself in. So I would say that is something that I caught from her growing up, watching her trying to step into the roles of leadership without any form of thought of limitation.
She is an enigma when it comes to politics, when it comes to ethics, when it comes to moral.
I did my NYSC in Ibadan, and we moved over to Lagos headquarters, Army headquarters. So I decided to do my master's degree in education psychology. I did sociology and counseling. That was a combination of making up to social psychology. I graduated and I was teaching medical psychology to nurses in Makudi, where my husband was posted to. While I was doing that, I saw people holding political meetings, and I branched one day to see what was happening. And I saw people, that was MPN. I saw people just discussing women. Some could speak English, some could not. And that was the day they were going to be distributing buses. And I said to myself, if these women here can have the bus to go around to do their campaigns, why not my mothers, my women at home in Patiki? Well, I had to take permission from my husband. But I told him, say, you are doing your military work, putting your life on the line for Nigeria. Allow me to put my brain on the line for the citizens. We had no problems. So yes, so I would travel every 10 days from Makudi, going through the Okwaja, crossing the river, sometimes take motorbike, sometimes I will have a vehicle to meet with the women, organizing them into political meeting. My husband, my mother became the treasurer since she couldn't write. We were very strong to the point that we invited Mrs. Ekweme, the wife of the vice president, to President Shagari. And when people like the blessed memory, Baba Saraki, heard that someone was organizing a visit, but that was when I had to go and tell the state PDP executive. Well, I thought they were going to be excited that they were having the vice president's wife visiting a village in Kwara State, or a town in Kwara State. I realized they felt it was threatening. But after explanations, I kept on to the point that the date was set. It was when she was almost going to come, one excuse was given and she couldn't come. But my speech and everything, the women were organized. They were disappointed, but I told them, well, there's always time for better things in the future. So we gave it up. But I realized that all my education, why would I not put it in the political arrangement that was going to elevate or integrate women and the youth into politics? Well, at that point, since I wasn't working in any civil service, I realized I had to pay attention to women in politics. As a woman, whatever I do influences the younger women, possibly encourages the older women. But I got into the mainstream of political activity when I was appointed as a commissioner for social development during the military era by Brigadier General Ahmed. And at that time, the chance to display or even practice all that I had learned from all the institutions of learning. Dartford, the US, University of Lagos, my teaching experiences. So, of course, sports was also there. The ways I needed for me to practice what I have learned. And soon after, there was a cabinet resolution. So I was removed as a commissioner. So I then, that time I was really working with MAMSA, with Professor Jerry Ghana organization. And they sponsored me to attend a conference, World Women's Conference on Women Working for Change. And that was what had my turning point, because I had women from all over the world talking about the issues we were all familiar with. And I'm coming back, because that was a time I also suggested, I believe it was taken up in the UN when about Family Day that I was doing in Kwara State. They accepted it, and I think we are now celebrating Family Day by through the sponsorship of the United Nations. And so when I came back, and I just thought myself, heck, if policy implementation can be natural, then if I had witnessed and I've been part of the executive meetings, seeing the governor chairing the meeting, why not? What is the big deal about heading a nation And I just thought myself, Sarah, why can't you run for the presidency? That was around 1989, I think. Yes, and I had the first press conference.
She was one of the pioneer women in Nigeria that had the guts to come out and contest for the position of the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. As at that time, it was very, very uncommon, unbelievable, because of our social-cultural background and what men really feel about women.
I deliberately decided to go into politics so I could re-nurture Nigeria back to sanity through ethics, the values, and or ethical administration, applying our conscience, growing the conscience of the citizens, that they will apply their early childhood education, that government would monitor the quality of education all the way to university or any other knowledge. When it was announced that every presidential candidate was to pay 500,000 by the two political parties, SDP and Social Democratic Party and NRC, National NRC. And I said to me, then MAMSA was useless. Why would political people, is it only the rich that can contest election? Well, my husband was retired. I was earning only 2,000 as a commissioner. How was I supposed to raise 500,000? I protested to the SDP because they said I wasn't qualified to contest. But because I had even tried to raise the funds, an old elder heard what I was saying on the television. NTA agreed for me to go on the television. I had live interview on the television protesting to Mr. President, General Babangida at that time, that no, he created the parties and he was giving them billions of naira to run the parties. Why then should it be that the political aspirants should be paying so much money? It's only the rich. And I said no.
Because she was so courageous to come out to contest, it has given a lot of women the guts to come out in politics to really showcase their talents. And this is a great thing she has done. And I'm sure her name will always be written in gold when it comes to politics.
So breaking the glass ceiling at that point, with all the risks and all the misunderstanding and voting for me and not to vote for me. And I get it. The glass was that even the women that I stood for did not understand. It appears the women allow themselves to be bought over by the men. The politics become that only for the rich.
I feel every Nigerian woman, no matter what area you find yourself in, the ability to tell yourself that I can rise high, even if I'm going to start from the entry level or from the base level, I will be, with my integrity, with my work ethics, I will rise up to the top, no matter that field, be it politics, be it fashion, be it whatever industry you find yourself in.
There must be women integration, because government without proper women voice and policy implementation is incomplete. This is not a nation. It cannot be a nation that has a family background or philosophy to nurture future leaders in a country. May the Almighty God help us to have the understanding and the wisdom. Amen.